Yeah.
Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get on the channel. Luke Hewett, I hope I said your name right. Did I say your name right?
It's Hewett.
Hewett.
Hewett. Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, man, I'm not great with names. But yes,
That's
he's
all right.
one of Harvey Dykes' coaches. And yeah, pleasure getting you on the channel. My
Thank
first
you.
question is before we get into Harvey himself, yeah, my first question is I always ask the boxers how they got into boxing. How did you get into boxing and the sort of coaching role?
I started boxing in 2001, a long time ago now. Because well, to be fair, I kept getting in trouble on the streets, so my dad took me to a boxing gym, and I started competing about 6 months later, and I've never really left the sport.
Oh, were
To be
you an
honest.
amateur yourself?
Yeah, yeah. I went in the amateurs, and then I went in the unlicensed as well.
Oh, and what was your amateur? How many amateur fights did you roughly have and
I
unlicensed fights?
think I had about 18 amateurs and about 25 unlicensed.
What was harder, the amateurs or the unlicensed?
Amateurs.
And explain
Yeah,
what the difference is between amateurs and unlicensed.
amateurs you get it's more amateurs is more of a sport. Unlicensed is more people just turning up trying to make a little name for themselves, not really taking it too seriously, to be fair. um Amateurs is where people start off to go on to better things, so
Did you?
they're gone.
I said, did you? I was about to say, did you ever think of becoming a pro boxer or no?
Yeah, I was meant to a couple of times, but I had a lot of stuff going on at the time that I had to deal with outside, so I didn't really get around to doing it. Yeah, it was
Oh,
more. Yeah, it was more my personal life that was getting in the way. So I just stuck at the unlicensed really, and then I started coaching when I was in 2018.
and how? If you did end up going pro, how far do you feel that you would have gone?
Um, Not really too sure to be fair. I'm not too sure. Um, Would have just seen how it went, but might have ended up being a journeyman, might have ended up being a ticket. Could have been a ticket seller. I'm quite a popular kid around Brighton, so
Mm. But yeah, I mean, so you said that you started coaching in 2018,
yeah.
and yeah. So do you run your own gym, or do you work with some other people as well?
But no, we I help run Whitehall KBC. It's a gym in Brighton. Um, I run it in the day for my own personal training and professional fighters and peak fitters, and I do one-to-ones with amateurs as well. But I do small groups in the day as well, and one-to-one sessions. And at night, there's me and a few other coaches that help run the amateur classes.
Mm-hmm. So are you Harvey's head coach?
I'm his second coach, but I'm his cut man as well.
Ah,
Um, I do because he lives in Brighton. Obviously, I do a lot of his work. So I do a lot of organising his sparring, getting him fights lined up. I'm his pad man in Brighton, so I sharpen him up on the pads. Organise sparring for him. Just run his day-to-day sessions as well.
yeah. And how long have you been like working alongside with Harvey? Like, how long have you worked with him for?
In the pros, 2 years, but when he was in the amateurs, I was there at the beginning of his career as well.
He was a
Um,
good amateur, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah, really good. Yeah, really good. He won everything in the amateurs. So um, he, I was there because he was still he used to box for White Hawk and he was still there in 2018, and I think he left the middle of 2019.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, well, on BoxRec, I'm not sure if BoxRec's right with the amateur sort of fights, but it says here that he in the amateurs he boxed Jamie TKV, Franklin Ignatius, Will Howe, and Courtney Bennett.
Yeah, yeah, I was there for the Franklin one. I was there. I was helping out in his corner when he beat Franklin. Um, he's he beat. a lot of the boys now that are making a name for themselves, he beat them in the amateurs.
Yeah, I mean TKV being one of them who's been boxing on Sky.
Yeah, yeah. He I think he beat Jamie twice. I think.
Yeah, that's what it says on BoxRec.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, and he beat William Howard twice as well. He stopped Courtney Bennett,
He's
and he
doing
beat
well as well, Courtney.
yeah, and he beat Franklin once. Franklin's a good fighter. He beat Steve Robinson.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
I mean, maybe when Harvey gets a few more fights, we can see him, you know, he might rematch them like in the pros, you know what I mean?
yeah, that's what we're looking. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at another 3 learning fights, and then hopefully get a Southern Area title shot at the beginning of next year, and then he can start going on to not so much ticket deals, like be more of a 50-50 fight with one of them sort of boys.
Yeah, I mean, his career, we'll go into his pro career just basically before we talk about his fight this, yeah, well, Saturday that's upcoming. Yeah, I mean, he's had quite a start to his career. I mean, 2 of his fights being on the Wasserman show, one being after the main event. So, I mean,
Yeah.
and couldn't get worse, could it really?
Ah,
I mean, couldn't get better, sorry.
yeah, you can't get much better than that. Um, his pro debut in Brighton, I think we sold something like 465 tickets for it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I saw on because I watched it until the end because I was quite excited for his debut because I didn't really know what to sort of expect. I mean, I've seen a few clips of him in the amateurs, but it was, first time seeing him in pro, and then so I had to, I was watching the main event, and I really was hoping that they didn't end it because sometimes they cut it off after the main event, but luckily I saw Harvey's fight, and he had all of those people there. I mean, he had half the crowd with him, and yeah, he took quite an awkward opponent on his debut, Eric
Yeah,
Nazaraya, and
yeah,
he basically got a 50-50 sort of record. So good
yeah,
fight on your
yeah.
debut.
He hasn't done it the easy way, to be fair. And in his second fight as well, it was over Cayman Islands, which is over near Jamaica. We went over there, and that was a more of a 50-50 fight. The kid he had 3-1-2, Tyler Tremblett.
Yeah, and he beat him by unanimous decision, and in my opinion, he won every round as he did on 2 of the scorecards.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure he. I mean, looking back now, he won every round to me as well. So he boxed really well over there, really well.
And again, I thought he boxed quite well in his last outing at York Hall. That was in April. Again on the Wasserman show. It was on the Charlie Edwards undercard, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. He boxed really well. Then he didn't share around. Then he won every round.
I think he's getting better each time I've seen him box.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. He's he's going from the amateurs to the pros, which I thought would be a bit difficult at first. But he had a year's worth of training with us before he had a fight, so he had a year's worth of like pro training there to get used to the sort of style. And each time, like, Harvey's a quick learner. Each time he's just progressing and he's getting a little bit better, that little bit better. Um, he do great things.
Mm. And
He do
yeah,
great
before
things.
before we get into his fight, I asked what to the boxers, what fighters do they look up to you as like a coach? What coaches, whether that's in the small hall scene or the world title sort of coaches, what do you look up to? Any coaches out there at the minute or in the past?
That's good. He's he's young and he literally he come out of nowhere, didn't he? Really, he was just helping out Tyson Fury, and look what he's done for himself now. He's made a proper life for himself out of it, and he's really good at what he does with AJ and everyone else.
And
Um,
Leewood, Congo,
yeah,
he's
he's
got a
got
good little
Mo.
stable.
Yeah, he's got Moses Atorma now as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he's got
How far
Moses.
do you think he'll go?
He's one to watch out for. Um, Me and I both said before that he's the one that you look at out of all the up and coming heavyweights. He's the real. He, he could end up being a problem for people.
I agree. He's a beast.
Yeah,
Yeah, and of course Harvey's fighting this well, yeah, Saturday night, and he's boxing at the famous York Hall, Bethnal Green again. It's for the second time he's boxing at York Hall. He's got an opponent in Milan Panavov. I think that's yeah.
Yeah, Milos Pavov. He's ranked number 3 in, I think it's Bulgaria.
But you say it as good as me, mate, so I'm not sure. We might
Yeah.
both be wrong, but you know.
But yeah, he stopped his last opponent as well.
So it's good that you've got somebody who's, coming off a win, especially a knockout win as well.
Yeah,
Is it 6 rounds this one or just 4?
we wanted it for 6 rounds, but they were trying to make it for 4, so we're just going to see what happens on the day. See what happens on the day. Just try and get them up to 6. Just got to see how it goes. But we want it 6 rounds. But I don't know why they're asking for 4. To be fair, but it is what it is.
But yeah, I mean, Harvey always brings an army down. I mean, think about seeing how much he brings to fans to York Hall. I can only imagine, how many there was when he fought in Brighton. And yeah, I mean, he always brings quite a crowd with him. That's why he's on sort of towards the sort of middle sort of card to back end of the card.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we boxed at York Hall, I think we sold about 135 tickets, and then for this one, I think we're close to between 1,800, but we've only had 3 weeks to sell it.
Yeah, so, and you still sold quite a load of tickets, so that's good.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant. He's doing well. He should hopefully get a good win Saturday and then push on to better things.
I mean, how did camp go?
Camp's gone good. Camp's gone really good. We've been in camp for 7 weeks now, 7-8 weeks. He's had very good sparring partners. He's had David Adelaide. He's been sparring David.
And Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis Oakford sparring. I finished his last spar with him today.
Yeah, I mean, David fighting for the English title in a few weeks against Dykes. How do you see that contest? And again, Oakford v Hedges as well is coming up as well for the Southern area.
They're both going to be good fights. Both close. I mean, I wouldn't like to say, because obviously I know Lewis Oakford now. He's sparred Harvey quite a few times. I think he's got a fair chance to win it. David with his English title shot. He's strong, powerful. It's a good fight what he's got there, but it's could go either way.
And yeah, before I let you go, can we expect a knockout from Harvey, or the usual saying if the knockout's there, it's a bonus? But do you feel like as the fighters come to fight with Harvey, the more the more he'll start to get the knockouts, when they come to fight with him and start trying to knock him out?
Yeah, that's why we've got this one coming Saturday, because hopefully he's going to come to have a tear up with him, and then Harvey can use his skills and maybe hopefully sit down on his shots and hopefully, with better luck, get the knockout.
Yeah, well, hopefully, mate. And yeah.
Thank you, mate.
No, before I let you go, do you want to shout out? Oh, you did shout your gym out already. Do you want to shout out Lewis's other coach? Not Lewis. I don't know. We were talking about Lewis a minute ago. I mean, Harvey's other coach as well as you.
Yep, Don Charles. Don Charles helps Harvey quite a bit as well. He's doing a good job with him. So we work together with him. Obviously, Harvey's got a strength conditioning coach as well called Alex Davis. He's doing very well with him. And obviously, Harvey sponsors Marcus Morley, Steve Marchant, and a few others. So yeah, it's great. It's going well.
And from me, Luke, thank you for your time. And yeah, good luck with Harvey on Saturday, and I'll see you there.
Thank you, mate. See you there. Does this go on your YouTube channel?
Yes, mate.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Send it through.
All right, bye.
Cheers, pal.